The most surprising thing about last week was the fact that there wasn't anything surprising about it. How often does that happen? What's going on, guys? Stakes Report here, back to another video. Today we are talking about Week 7. I'm not going to waste any more time. We're just going to jump right in. Alright, our Thursday night game is actually not a divisional matchup. It's not a division rivalry. It's the Broncos and the Saints. The Broncos, Bo Nix has been up and down his rookie season, but there's still something there, so hopefully he is the long-term answer for the Broncos. Meanwhile, for the Saints, after a 2-0 start, they have just fallen off the edge of a cliff, and really, I don't know what else to say about this Saints team other than they got to get back on track quickly, or else this season's going to spiral out of control, and they might actually find themselves in the top 10 of the draft, not in the teens like they normally are. Give me the Broncos. New England taking on Jacksonville. This is our London game, and it's not particularly a good one. New England, they started Drake May, and May had 3 touchdown passes, but also 3 turnovers. There's positives and there's negatives to take away from that, but 3 touchdown passes in your debut, hey, that's not bad. Meanwhile, for Jacksonville, what more can we say about their first London game against the Bears other than it wasn't particularly good? As for this game, I'm just going to go Jacksonville. Philadelphia taking on the Giants, a potential Saquon Barkley revenge game. This will be interesting. But in all seriousness, for Philadelphia, I'm not sure what to make of this team. Yeah, they're winning games, but it's not like they're dominating them. And it's not like they look like the team they did last year during the first half of the season. There's just something still off about this team, and I'm not sure what it is. I'm not sure. And I can't be sure what this team's going to look like towards the end of the year. Meanwhile, for the Giants, they were able to shut down the Bengals' offense. I mean, they held them to 17 points, but their offense couldn't score more than 7. That's the problem with the Giants. Either defense isn't working or their offense isn't working. They can't get consistency with this team. And I'm just going to go with the Eagles for this one. Seattle taking on Atlanta. For Atlanta, they're coming together. They are coming together as an offense. They are coming together as a team. Right now, they could be considered the favorite in the NFC South. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, not a particularly good showing Thursday night against the 49ers. They got to get back on track or else their season could spiral out of control. I'm going to go with the Falcons on this one. Tennessee taking on Buffalo. Tennessee had a close loss against the division rival. Buffalo had a close win against the division rival. For Tennessee, there's pieces there, but it's not enough. This is a team that definitely is going to need a few years before we really consider them contenders again. And for Buffalo, well, look at who they just got. They just got Amari Cooper. I like it. I really do. They needed some help at the wide receiver position. Amari Cooper comes in. He's their number 1 right away. One of the most consistent number 1s. Maybe the most underrated number 1 in the NFL. And I'm going to go with them over the Titans. Cincinnati taking on Cleveland. The Battle of Ohio for Cincinnati. They needed that win against the Giants. And their defense stepped up big time. Shut down the Giants and only gave up 7 points. For Cleveland, well, they just traded Amari Cooper, and their season is just not looking good right now. Something is just off with this team other than Deshaun Watson. I mean, it's all around. You have positions all around making mistakes. Yeah, Deshaun Watson is the biggest issue with this team, but it goes beyond that. But you have to wonder how much longer until Jameis Winston takes over. Give me Cincinnati. Houston's taking on Green Bay. For Houston, they are one of the best teams in the AFC right now. There's no doubt about that. For Green Bay, I'm really liking how this team's coming together. And I'm actually going to go Green Bay over Houston with this one. Miami taking on Indianapolis. Miami's coming off a bye, but we still have no idea when Tua Tagovailoa is going to be back, if he's going to be back this season or ever again. For Indianapolis, Anthony Richardson should be good to go, barring a setback. I'm going to go with them over the Dolphins. Detroit taking on Minnesota. Oh, man, this could be the game of the week. For Detroit, it's rough losing Aiden Hutchinson the way that they did. Out for the season, broken leg, had to have surgery right away. Hopefully he's back by the start of 2025 and back to that magnificent player that he is. For Minnesota, they're still undefeated. They're coming off a bye, but you still have some concerns with this team with how the last 2 games went. I'm going to go Minnesota over Detroit on this one. Carolina taking on Washington. Washington, they may have lost last week. However, going up against the Ravens, they held their own. Jaden Daniels had a very good game, which just showed two things. One, Washington is the favorite in the NFC East. And two, Jaden Daniels, he is for real. He is going to be the Offensive Rookie of the Year. Maybe an MVP candidate if he can keep this up. Meanwhile, for Carolina, there's not much more to really say. And I know I say that so often, but there's not much more I can really say about this team other than they are not good. They need a lot of players. It's going to be a while. Washington. Raiders taking on the Rams. For the Rams, they're coming off a bye, and their bye came at the right time because they just had guys injured. Guys are still on IR. However, just having that bye when they did to stop the bleeding a little bit, hopefully the injuries can slow down for them and they don't lose anybody else that's important to them. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, okay, we now see who the true Raiders really are. They are just, again, not a good team. Just traded Devontae Adams to the Jets, and I'm going with the Rams over the Raiders. Kansas City, San Francisco Super Bowl rematch, everybody! But not the one that we wanted to see. Christian McCaffrey's still out, and San Francisco still has a good number of players out. Meanwhile, Casey's coming off a bye. They're 5-0. Make it 6-0. Give me the Chiefs. Jets taking on Pittsburgh. For the Jets, they just got Devontae Adams to reunite him with Aaron Rodgers. Will that help them out? I have no idea. But Aaron Rodgers is still the king of the Hail Mary. It's just a shame that their kicker couldn't tie the game when they needed him to. Pittsburgh. What? You're going to start Russell Wilson? Are you really going to do that? Why? Justin Fields has done well. He's not turning the ball over. He's making plays when you need him to. I don't understand this if Russell Wilson is going to be the starter in this game. I'm still going to go Pittsburgh, but I don't know if this is going to work out for them. 2 Monday night games. Again, why? We don't need this, and why is one of them on ESPN Plus? Make it make sense, everybody, please! Baltimore, Tampa Bay. Baltimore started 0-2. 4 straight wins, tied for the lead in the division with the Steelers. Tampa Bay, nice win against the Saints. Had a scare in the second quarter, but then just ran away with it in the second half. I'm going to go Tampa Bay. And our other Monday night game, which again is going to be on ESPN Plus because the NFL's just doing whatever they want these days. Oh, wait, we already knew that. Anyway, Chargers, Cardinals. The Cardinals, after the win against San Francisco 2 weeks ago, last week was not what they were expecting. It was not a pretty matchup. And for the Cardinals, they're still a few players away from really competing for a playoff spot, and we're seeing that. For the Chargers, yeah, they're coming together. They're coming together. I could definitely see them competing for a playoff spot at the end of the season. Jim Harbaugh's not doing a bad job, although they did just have a scare with him as he had to go into the medical tent before the game and missed some of it. Yeah, that was a scare. That really was. As for this game, I'm going to go Chargers over Cardinals. Alright guys, those were my picks for Week 7. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. And as always, I'll see you guys next time.